Good morning. It is June 18th, which is my convocation, and I'm graduating finally from Ryerson University with a degree in Commerce Marketing Management, and so I'm really excited to finally get my diploma and be done with school. So today I'm only going to be using products that I know work because I don't want any accidents with my makeup today. So all the products I'm using today are my absolute favorite. They're products that I know work and don't budge and last. So first off, I'm using the Niod Photography Fluid Opacity 12%. I've used this before and photos turned out really nicely, so I'm just gonna use this. My skin has been really just kind of red lately from traveling, so I'm going to be using the CoverGirl Color Neutralizing TruBlend base. And actually, sorry, before all of that, I'm going to go in with my LANEIGE sleeping mask, and I'm just going to prep my lips. I'm going to use now the CoverGirl TruBlend base. This is the green one, so I'm just going to neutralize my skin a little. It's looking a little red today. And I like to use a lot of different primers. I think people just pick one primer and go with it, but I think I have combination oily skin, so the rest of my face, other than my T-zone, is a little different, so I like to treat it differently as well. And then I have one more primer. This one is the CoverGirl TruBlend Base Business Pore Minimizing one. I find this one does a good job with oil control as well. So 5,000 layers of primer later, Urban Decay All Nighter setting spray. I have a travel size here. I just like to set this if I really want my makeup to stay before I even do my makeup. So we're gonna do a little bit of a mixing business here with my foundations. Two absolute, like, you know, if I need to wear it for 12 hours foundation is my Lancome Teint Idole Ultra Wear. This one is really great for combination oily and oily skin, even normal skin too. And this is the Estee Lauder Double Wear. So this is a tad bit dark for me. I mean, this one's a little bit light, so I'm gonna mix these two together. I'm just gonna take a brush to mix it together. But I love the cleansing brush, but I also have a foundation head, and I really like this. I saw Tati use this and rave about it, and I'm like, okay, I need this. And I really do like it, and it's shown me how little foundation you actually need, and it's actually better to sheer out your foundation. I'm gonna dip that in my foundation, and I'm just gonna go for it. That's kind of the first layer. I like to use the Clarisonic, and then afterwards I like to use a beauty blender. Like this is Uemura's, and I'm just gonna dip it in lightly to add coverage where I want it to be. And my base is done. So now I'm gonna go in with my favorite concealer, which is the Estee Lauder Double Wear. I really like this, recommended by Tati as well. It's just a really great concealer. So I'm just gonna not use too much. I'm just gonna do a little bit of my under eye because jet lag. I literally got back yesterday from France. So the jet lag is very real right now. I'm just gonna go in with the It Cosmetics concealer brush. I really love this brush. It's double-sided, so you have a flatter side here and you have more of a poofier side here. I use this to blend in, so I'm just gonna use the flatter side first. So now that concealer is done, I'm gonna take a Laura Mercier setting powder to set my under eye so it doesn't crease. Prime the eye, so here I'm doing the Smashbox 24-hour Photofinish Shadow Primer. Now that I've done priming my eyes, I'm actually going to start my eyeshadow, and I kind of want to do a warm brown look. First, I'm going to take this Clio brush, and I'm just going to apply an eyeshadow all over to the crease. This kind of light brown shade. I got this from Etude House. It's just a nice kind of crease shade. I think it's really important to do your kind of like take the mirror and bring it far away to see the overall look instead of just zooming in on your eyes. And it's also really important to do this right in front of natural lighting. And then I'm gonna go in with a slightly darker brown from Innisfree, and this is number 20, my eyeshadow matte. And it's just like a nice brown shade. And I'm gonna take the same brush actually and just put this kind of all over my eyelid. I'm taking, this is one of my favorite eyeshadow palettes. You can see it's completely destroyed. It's the Excel SR05 Skinny Palette, I think it's called. I'm gonna take this shade and then also this shade it darkens. I'm gonna do this all over the lid. And I'm gonna change my brush, this kind of brush. I'm just gonna dip it in here. It's just a really pretty warm brown, and kind of just intensify where I put it earlier. Take a small fluffy brush and dip into the darker brown and just intensify the outer corners a little. So now I'm going to set the rest of my face. I just want it to kind of sit for a little bit before I set it. My Cezanne UV setting powder, and this is in the shade 00. And thank you to Lena who got this from Japan for me. I'm just going to throw my brush in it. And I'm just going to use this mainly for my oily spots. And since we're going to be taking photos, I'm also going to be using my Hourglass. This is my ambient lighting powder and in Diffused Light. And I just find this is also good for photography. I'm just going to kind of gently run that all over buff that into my face. I'm going to finish my eyes. Sorry, I go back and forth. I really like this CoverGirl Liquineline Blast. This is the one with the little rubber back tip so you can blend. And it's just a dark brown. And I'm just going to tight line. Just going to slightly line my eyes because my eyes are kind of hooded. So I don't like to use too much. And then taking kind of a small pointed brush like this one from Etude House, I'm just going to use that same dark brown I used earlier in here to kind of smudge that line out. For me, it's pretty much a gradient eyeshadow look, which I think looks best for Asian eyes that's hooded at least. And then lastly for the eyes, I'm going to use a loose pigment from Thibia, the Korean brand, and I'm just going to, it's like this beautiful kind of shade, so I'm just going to take a little bit, spray my back of my hand so that I have a little bit of wetness so that the pigments can grab onto. I'm going to gently press this on my eyes. Now I'm going to highlight the inner corner of my eyes, and I'm here using the Lancome Le Monochromatique in Éclat. This is a really beautiful highlight. It's kind of like a cream to powder finish. And I'm just taking a little bit on my fingers, and I'm just going to put that in the inner corner. I'm going to take a liquid liner, and this one I got in Thailand, and I'm just going to line my eyes. This is all dark brown. I don't like to use black. I'm just going to wing my eyes a little. I have hooded eyes. I don't like my liner to be too thick or else it takes up the entire eyelid. My eyes are basically done. I just need to put on some false lashes if I can. I actually have only worn false lashes maybe a few times in my life, but I'm using these Daiso ones I got in Singapore. Natural and wispy, so I'm going to cut these and apply. 20 years later, I finally got my lashes on. It only took me like, 20 minutes. I'm gonna use the Ink Color Cara from Peripera in the brown one, Milk Tea I think, and I'm just gonna use it to combine my real lashes. Use the curler to combine them. The same mascara for the bottom lashes. And now finally the eyebrows so that my face doesn't look so weird. I'm using here a pencil from Cute Press. I got this in Thailand as well. It's just kind of a brown tiny little tip. My brows are done. They look good. I think they're pretty even. Even enough. Okay, cool. I think the only thing left for me is to bronze up and to contour a little bit. I'm using a Sephora brush to contour, and I've been using the butter bronzer. I'm a little late to the game, but I do really like this. I'm just going to take a little bit and move my mirror really far back so I can just see how I want to do this. I think it's really important to kind of zoom out a little to see the overall look. I'm also going to contour my nose. I'm going to use the Clio brush again and just kind of start from here, circles. I'm using a blush. This is Love Me More by For You Too. I got this in Thailand as well. Shade is just like this peachy orange brown shade. I really like the shade. I'm gonna take a blush brush and I'm just gonna apply that to the apples of my cheeks. Blend it back into the contour a little. Look a little bit more alive. The Mamonde Highlight Lip Tint Glow, number 13. The last thing I need is a little bit of highlight gonna use the same one. I'm gonna use a small eyeshadow brush because I want this to be very precise. Just a little bit, and where the light shines, just want a little more. So do you see that? What I'm gonna actually last touch up is I'm gonna add some glitters to the inner corner of my eye, and this is the Hala Kahala Magic Inside, the dupe for the Stila. And I'm just gonna use back of my hand this lip brush from Bobbi Brown. I'm just gonna dip that in and apply for some added glitter. Can you see? It's really nice. I think I'm done. Last thing I'm gonna do is the Urban Decay again, just to set everything down. And I'm done. So now I'm gonna probably head out to the ceremony and I'll see you guys later.